YouTube? Dawson Ryder here. Welcome to my review for BoonBoomger episode 35. So this wrapped up lap 3 and teased what's going to happen in lap 4. We also just recently got a poster that I did a video on, and I think it was an overall very solid end to this arc, and honestly probably the strongest lap so far. Lap 1 was overall pretty solid in terms of introducing everything. Lap 2 was really the only lemon so far. It wasn't terrible, I wasn't clawing my eyes out watching each episode, but it was surprisingly fillery for how many big things happened in that lap. And this lap has just been so nice and engaging. It had a lot of the just kind of lighter fun elements that we've been enjoying from the series, but also was a lot more serialized, which was really enjoyable, and I hope that continues into the next lap. So, when we last left our heroes, Boondario had been outed as working for the Hash Aliens, and Boondi flied off the handle. And that brings up my first negative, where I did talk about last week how if they're going to do that big reveal and everyone forgave him, I was happy that it wasn't a classic everyone flies off the handle and has an irrational reaction, but I felt like there had to be some kind of fallout, otherwise what's the point? And I was like, okay, Boondi I guess kind of makes sense because he's known him the longest, and then people in the comments pointed out, which is something I didn't even really think about, is that's really hypocritical of him because him and Sakito worked for the Hash Aliens all the time. I mean, granted, they weren't in the organization, they were just kind of, third parties that helped them, but still, that is pretty hypocritical. I guess it probably had more to do with their personal past and that he would turn to them and not him, which they talked about a little bit, but yeah, that does check out and is a little bit weird. And it is funny how quickly they wrap things up at the beginning of this episode. It basically is the opening scene of Sakito showing up and he puts the mic on so that they can hear the explanation of what went down. And basically Boondario got trapped. He was on the down and out and he picked a part from this guy that was offering an upgrade, and it turned out to be basically a setup where he lost his license and was forced to work for the enemy, and then once he realized how bad the stuff they were doing with his technology was, he left. And one thing I'll say is really nice is I do like how Sakito handled that. I think it was an excellent way of riding the line of, going off with his friend when he had a temper tantrum and, sticking by his friend Boondi, but then subtly finding a way to set the ball in motion to get everyone back together. So that was well done. I at least liked that. And I'm glad that they wrapped it up quickly in the sense that we just had a dramatic arc about Gemba being away from the team, and we didn't need a rinse and repeat of that. But at the same time, it also left me feeling like it was kind of pointless. I'm like, okay, this was just there, I guess. I kind of wish, too, this episode's final resolution had them all defeating Disgrace, and on the ground fight, Gemba got the final blow, which, makes sense because of his past and that whole arc, but that being mixed up with this sudden revelation about Boondario and the way that the pacing was handled made me kind of wish that we had just, ended this arc without talking about the Boondario stuff and just had them defeat Disgrace, but then, in the final battle in the mecha, right before he dies, last words is when he gives the reveal about Boondario, and then that kicks off lap 4, just because I felt that the drama over him, mixed things up with Genba's arc, and I was just thinking when they had the final fight, which I did really like that they gave Gemba the final blow on the ground, I was thinking, I almost forgot about that because we've been all in the weeds with this new stuff that it felt weird that felt like a resolution to an arc that had already gone by. So I just kind of wish that the pacing of that had been a little bit separate. But I did like that they gave him that final strike, and the overall final fight was entertaining as usual. Again, I really do love the way that the jacket power-up works. I thought that was a lot of fun. But yeah, a little bit mixed feelings just in the sense that I'm glad it wrapped up quickly because we didn't need more drama, but at the same time, it's felt kind of pointless in a way, other than just having one of those classic reaffirming the team scenes, or multiple scenes like that. And they did have a really epic team shot of them walking in with that BoonBoomger score that I like, that signature track. Very much this one in particular reminded me of the scenes where the Gokaigers walk in slow motion and you get that I should be on American Idol. They also did a pretty good job of setting up the villain, a very classic mob boss storyline of a character that worked his way up. We kind of see his beginnings of starting to get his power when he was in the Boondario flashbacks, and then now he's got influence over the cops and stuff. So I think it did a good job of setting him up as kind of a good final villain with a decent presence, with that kind of mob boss feel, but you'll never be Sofia Falcone. Sorry, Gigante. I think that's a good setup. I hope that the final arc has a more imposing villain presence rather than kind of the warehouse discount villain feeling we've had a lot. You know what I mean? I just hate when they have villains that don't have a base and they just move around. It just makes them feel so sad. Also, good debut fight and just overall debut for the champion mecha. I praised last week, which I'll do again this week, that I love that they separated it. You know, I just like when they extend the debuts. It makes it feel more special and less like they're trying to rush through it so they can sell the toy. And it kind of gives like different aspects a chance to shine. So we just showed the carry off last week, and then we showed the mecha form. And it's overall a really good design. I really like it a lot. And I like the way that they show off, like that they have all the tires on the the helmet area by having this fading shot of the team in front of them. I think that was really cool. And in general, the mecha fights, kind of like the ground fights, are always pretty cinematic, but putting it in space made it feel even more epic. So yeah, overall, I still really enjoyed the episode. I have my nitpicks here and there about some of the stuff with Bundario and all that type of stuff, but overall it was still enjoyable and a really enjoyable third lap. I'm just really happy how much I've been enjoying this last stretch of episodes, and I hope that momentum continues into lap 4. But what did you guys think of the episode? Let me know in the comments as always. Until next time, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and climb the steps and ring that bell to get notifications for my videos. Dawson Ryder, signing out.